It's Rob!
Tony! And I'm Jeff.
We're in gaming.
And that's you.
Hello gamers and welcome back to the Inn. I'm Rob, of course, or Warshack if you want to call me by my in-game name, and we're just a couple hours away to the end of the season, so I'm going to try to knock out as many deck guides as I can before that happens, even though I've got a lot of schoolwork to do. So I think the last couple deck guides we're going to try to hit is probably N'Zoth Priest, as it's one of my favorite decks to play right now. Maybe Tempo Warrior, maybe Control Warrior, and then also the N'Zoth Paladin. So I'll actually play some... What are we feeling, guys? Do we want to run Priest or N'Zoth Paladin in this deck guide? Let's actually go N'Zoth Paladin for a little bit. We haven't played this deck in a while. I actually have made some renditions to it, and when I had made those changes, it actually did pretty well on ladder, but I haven't played it recently. We have played with these changes, just not recently in the Legend ladder, that is. For those of you who are new to our deck guides, we used to play 3 ranked games in a row. We'd win all 3. And then we talk about the deck, why I do what I do, and at the end of the video we talk about each individual card within the deck and then how they kind of interact within each other and the combos you might have missed out on, because you only could cover so many things in 3 to 4 games. But in this situation, because of my school schedule, my work schedule, and it's the end of the month, we're actually just going to play roughly, I'm going to assume, 45 minutes, hopefully win as many as we can, and then from there... we'll just talk about the deck at the end as normal, but if we don't end up winning, those 3 in a row, which we normally do in our deck guides, and I've definitely made a note to point that out. I'm sorry, just time constraints, guys. I'm sure you guys understand. Senior in college here, trying to finish up my last semester. Teachers, of course, they're trying to pump out the insurmountable in... Hold on one second. What do we want to do? Do we want to Doomsayer? Probably not. We'll probably just throw out the Reinforce and we'll play Doomsayer next turn. The unethical and insurmountable amount of homework and just busy work they give. They're just like, oh, you're about to graduate. Here, have all this shit to do. It's just like, oh my god. It's disgusting. Why do you do this? Alright, so we could actually, if we play 1 Doomsayer, what would he have to do to kill it? He'd power overwhelming this, that kills it. Or we could just double Doomsayer and make a new guy. But we're going to play 1 Doomsayer and say how you doing, see if he can stop it. Assuming he has 1 power overwhelming already, he can stop it, but then it kills off one of his creatures. But he would just kill off the 1/1 to do it, swing his 1/3 into it, that turns into a 6/6 at 7, he swings 3 face. But we still have 2 Consecrations and a Doomsayer. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with this deck and how it kind of performs, in the early game, we hold on as best we can. It's like a roller coaster. Starts off really quick, scares you, you're not really sure what can happen, but if you can hang on and you hit the end of it, it's really fun. It looks like he does have Soulfire, so he's actually going to discard 1 card from his hand here. Possessed Villager, not a bad one for him to discard, and the Consecration's actually looking pretty solid here. He has 4, 5, 6, he actually does have 7 damage on board, so using Consecration would take these guys down. It mitigates a lot of damage. It does use a Consecration, but we still have Equality Pyromancer in the deck. We also have the second Consecration. So I think we just Consecrate here. We mitigate a decent amount of damage. It puts the Voidwalker down. Also, if he doesn't set up a decent amount of board, we can go Doomsayer, shoot over our passive, or we can just go Harvest Golem. And normally, I might have held off on the Consecration, but the fact that we have both of them in our hands gives us kind of some leeway there. If he goes Googly-Eyed Octopops, we're just going to use another Consecration. Well, maybe. We'll see what happens. So he has 3, 4, and I think he used... How many of those? So this is 4, 5. He has 6 damage on the board. So we could go Doomsayer, Harvest Golem, or just Consecration again. And he's probably going to get a little salty because getting the double Consecration this early on is it's a bit of a bitch, but he's going to have to deal with that. I mean, he's ranked 2. He's just hoping to get to Legend. He's playing Zoo at the end of the season, the last day in. It's rough, man. You should probably not play Zoo. I mean, Zoo's really quick games, nonetheless, but... So we can be a jerk here. It depends how defensive. We go Doomsayer, throw out the Harvest Golem. Seems pretty good. Gives us initiative, but we don't play Tyrion. So I think we're going to play Tyrion... Not next turn, but the following. So we actually could go... There's quite a few things we could go. We could go... I think Justicar's fine. We're at 24 HP. We're not really that scared. This also contests the Councilman pretty well. And then summoning 2 dudes per turn combats his... Not that we can combat him drawing an extra card, but making 2 dudes that make trades into his guys is pretty good. He's going to hope that he gets some sort of, maybe... I don't even know, an abusive sergeant, and then he has some... What would he have that can attack directly? He doesn't run Horse Rider. I don't know. He's going to have to... I would say Power Overwhelming, but he doesn't have a creature that can attack besides the Councilman. So he's just going to dig for maybe a Taunt or a Soulfire. Imp, he takes a little bit more damage, and he's going to trade into the 6. He actually should go face, because he knows we're going to make that trade anyway. But he could make, you know, who knows what this guy's going to do. Alright, so we're going to make this trade here. We'll go this, we'll go this, we'll go that. So essentially, if the Doomsayer dies, we keep a 2-1 on board, we throw down Tyrion. If the Doomsayer, yeah, if dying means he kills himself. If he doesn't kill himself, we still have 2 1/1s and then the Harvest Golem that can make trades. So essentially, I see him tapping, go face, and turn. Unless he's going to Power Overwhelming. Oh, he can just naturally kill it. But that saved us essentially 7 HP, so not really that bad. Now we throw down Tyrion, we say, how you doing? We're going to go ahead, because both these have 3 HP, we're just going to go off and kill the one with the higher attack, not that it matters too much. And swinging into this guy really doesn't make a significant difference right now, because Tyrion has Divine Shield and can take the damage, so we're not going to attack with our 1-1. We can actually keep our Uldum in the 1-1 next turn and give it some significance. This deck performs pretty well against any aggressive to mid-range style deck. I would say it's decent against control decks due to the fact, like, it's worse, I don't know. It depends. It all depends on your opening hand. If you have an opening hand that can bat control, or not, it can combat aggro decks, like a really face hunter or an aggro shaman, you'll do well. But if they just get a good start on you and your hand is too slow, it's really bad. So, decent opening game there. Nice win on the first run. Getting our quest done. Oh, we started at what, 9:10, so we'll play until maybe probably like 9:50-ish, 40-ish minutes. I want to do as many deck guides as I can tonight, guys. Resets at 12. Right now it's 9:30, well 9:16. So we can knock out maybe 2 more deck guides, but I also have a decent amount of homework that I need to knock out before tomorrow. And it's like, oh Rob, why did every time you make a video it sounds like you have so much homework? Do you never do your homework? I do my homework. I do a lot of work. It's just they just pile it on. I actually only am taking 2 classes right now, but both those classes have like lab segments, and those lab segments have as much work as the original class, which is a 4 credit hour class. So it's essentially taking like 4 classes, and since it's the summertime, you're taking like normally 14 to 16 weeks of material into 6 weeks. So it's like taking 4 classes you normally take throughout the semester, combine it into 1/3 of the time, and then make it your last semester. So they just, you know, it's the hardest material you're going to have. And actually, it's not hard. It's just everything you've learned in the past 4 years. And I don't know if you're like me or not, but they can teach you something, and the next week you've forgotten it. Like, I don't even know what I had for fucking breakfast this morning. Peacekeeper and True Silver Champion's good. I'm not going to be too greedy with the mulligan here, just because I like the Peacekeeper due to the fact that he's going to summon the 7/7, and the True Silver Champion, just it's a good creature combatter, you know what I'm saying? So he's going to start off with the Abusive Sergeant, which tells me he's super aggro, which is not too bad. So we actually could coin into passive and combat his Abusive Sergeant, or we could save coin onto the 3, play the Harvest Golem. We're going to take at least 4 damage through Abusive, and then we can follow up with a 3, and then the 4. If we go in coin, then we're kind of submitting ourselves to not playing a double 3 back-to-back. So it's kind of how much damage do we want to take right now. If we use our passive, it really does help the Abusive Sergeant, unless he uses his toe, I don't know. We're actually going to do it. As bad as it looks, I think it's the right play. Saves us early health. Like, health is everything in this matchup. Like, taking an extra 2 damage from Abusive to summon an extra 3/3, not really worth it for me. We'll see what happens, though. So, a punishment here is if he plays Flame Juggler, and his Flame Juggler kills our Silverhand Recruit. That's bad. But then he would have to have Flame Juggler, and then at that point it would be a 50-50 chance between Flame Juggler killing our Silverhand Recruit and or going face. So, Right now, he's probably in the decision of whether he plays Flame Juggler or Totem Golem. And the correct move is to play the Flame Juggler, because then his 2/1 lives, which is essentially gain more damage over the Totem Golem, because if he has the Flame Juggler and the 2/1 out, that's 4 damage in comparison to just the Totem Golem, which would be 3 damage if we end up killing the Abusive Sergeant. So, also, we're joined tonight again by, how you say it, man? Did he get DC'd? Pineapple, banana, orange, Grey Goose. I'm sorry, man. If you're trying to grind up, it always sucks getting disconnected from games. 2100. There's probably a lot of tryhards on ladder right now. Like, I know we had beaten Chalky earlier today, which was really cool. He was like top 400 legend. And we were playing our like Miracle Token Druid deck, and he conceded on turn 5, which is pretty nice, considering it adds to the pool of pros I've beaten, which is pretty cool. Not that I'm a super Oh, fuck me. All right, so there's a few bad matchups, and like I mentioned earlier, like I said, like a very fast aggressive deck is kind of bad. What's even worse than that is Rogue. And that is because they can just burst you down so very quickly. I almost want to mulligan for equality Consecrate so we can deal with the stealth Gadgetson. So we're in hopes right now to draw into equality and or Consecration or equality by a Pyromancer. Those are key to this matchup. So, I mean, yeah, it's a rough matchup. This one is. I haven't seen rogues all day, though. So we can coin the Harvest Golem. We have 2 of them in our hand. Gives them something annoying to deal with. People are like, oh my god, why are you playing Harvest Golem? It's so bad. It's actually really not that bad. It was like one of the best vanilla cards ever. And by vanilla cards, I mean from the original set of Hearthstone, if you guys were around for that long. Interesting play he just did there. Turn 4 is most likely going to be his Tomb Pillager, and at that point, we want to play the Doomsayer now. But I kind of want to double Doomsayer later on. So if we make this trade here, it actually kills our dude, which doesn't feel that great. So we're just going to go double Harvest Golem and swing face. Because I have the feeling he's going to make the trade with his SI agent into our Harvest Golem anyway. And if he decides he wants a Tomb Pillager, which he did, we can go ahead and Doomsayer. Well, interesting. I'm actually going to play the Doomsayer. Well, if we play it next turn, then we can't Harrison. But we know he's going to attack once with his weapon. So we want to use it when he has his 1 deadly poison on there. So if we Doomsayer now, it stops him from what? What would he be his turn 5 play in Azure? We still have 2 Doomsayers. So let's actually Doomsayer, and we'll do this, and then we'll play a Doomsayer again next turn. And if he decides he wants to waste spells on the Doomsayer, assuming we don't have another one, this is key. So essentially what I see him doing here is going face for 3, doing nothing, and then we actually might even Harrison Jones to look for that equality, which would get us 2 cards. Because I don't think he's gonna. If he kills Doomsayer, he's using a charge on his Wicked Knife. If he doesn't kill Doomsayer, he's keeping the 2 durability on his knife. This is one of the matchups we really have to. Okay, so it looks like he is gonna go out of his way to kill that Doomsayer. Probably deal. Oh, Fan of Knives. All right. That was a really solid Fan of Knives. We got him to use a prep, though. And the Fan of Knives without the Auctioneer only draws 1 card. So he's going to use an Abyss. This is good. This is face damage we've avoided. And the coin. Wow. This is good. As bad as this looks, it's really... Okay. Alright. Not so good. Alright, not so good. Alright. We need an equality. Even equality wouldn't do it. Oh, man. Alright. Harrison Jones, give me an equality. Draw 2 cards. He just gave... Ooh, enter the Coliseum. And there's our equality. Lamau. Lamau. We hitting it big, son. We hitting it big. This now actually dies to this, but it's okay. Quality concentration, folks. We actually could just make that tiny. But equality concentration. You know it's coming. The next turn, probably True Silver Doomsayer. Rebuild with Bloodhoof. He saps Bloodhoof, so Keeper's better. So like passive Keeper. Seems pretty good. It's a really good draw from him. Already rebuilding the hand. Alright, so True Silver, Swing, and then the Doomsayer. Prevents him from playing Auctioneer. And then we can go ahead and, well, we know we're good, so we don't need a Forbidden Healing right now. I doubt he's going to have a 14 burst combo. Unless he, like, Leroy's... He could Leroy Cold Blood, that's 14. And this would be 15. If we swing with our... He'd have to have Leroy and double Cold Blood. What's the chances of that? Do we just heal up? No, we don't play around that.
Burn.
We will swing with our... Well, how important is it? We're at 13. He's going to have 9 mana.
Burn.
This would be 6. That would heal us for 6.
Burn.
So we will make that attack. If we Bloodhoof, it's getting sapped. If we Keeper of Uldaman and use our passive, we float some mana. That doesn't feel very good. This is never going to get any value. We're not going to give him an easy sap. He hasn't used any saps yet. Not giving him that easy sap. We play the Karen. He saps it. He kills our 1/1, and effectively we've gained no field advantage whatsoever, and we're in a pickle. Swings face. Okay, 14. I mean, again, the Leroy double power. The double. All right, this is interesting. All right, so if we heal right now, we heal for 18. That's a lot right now. So if we use our passive, we put 7. We heal for 14. We're at 28. How much do we care about health here? Do we want to go full, or do we want the extra 1/1? The 1/1 just dies to his weapon. So we have no other healing in our hand, but this is going down next turn. But no death rattles have died, so maybe that's not the best choice. We could Stampeding Kodo, heal for 8. That doesn't feel very good. Pulling out the extra damage doesn't feel very good, so we're just going to go for the full here and go face. We're also just looking for another equality to deal with that Auctioneer. So there's the SI agent to take care of that. Okie dokie. So we're going to make that trade. If we play Bloodhoof again, it's getting sapped, but... Oh, we'd get double Harvest Golem. That's pretty good.
To battle.
We get double Harvest Golem. Sure. I'll take a double Harvest Golem. We're not. If we play any big creature, it's getting sapped, right? Like that's. So this is the best value play. He's not gonna be able to deal with that. That's some good shit right there, folks. That's 3 wins in a row. We got our normal deck guide strategy down, even though one of those guys did give up. It's fine. I count it. So we'll play. We said, well, oh man, we still got another what? 20 minutes. It's pretty good. These games are going lickety split. Mage. We're gonna start getting paired up with pretty high legend players soon. I'm not sure my my semi-drunk brain's gonna be able to handle that. Because right now we're at like 80-ish%, and I think we're doing all right. I think we keep the alkali here. We're at like 80-ish% playability, and if we We still got a little less than half, and if we finish this, I can tell you that playability is going down to the sub 60s. And when we hit the sub 60s, we're at, in our head, probably around rank 5. 80s, you know, we're at decent legend. And yeah, keep it going. But we'll do our best. So it looks like he's playing Tempo Mage due to the Mana Worm on turn 1. Unfortunately, we don't really have a great kind of reaction to this. And maybe keeping the Alkalite was a bit too greedy, but I mean, it's hard to tell with these kind of openers for mages, right? So we play the Alkalite, he's just going to kill it with his Apprentice, and then we're just going to follow up with the True Silver. If we make a Silver Hand Recruit, he kills into this doesn't take damage, and we don't draw. So it's like, I don't really know when we're going to get value out of this Alkalite of Pain. So it's essentially, we keep the, well, we could actually turn 5 and pass a bit. So I guess we could just use this now. And then next turn's a True Silver Champ. Hopefully he just doesn't like play, what would be an annoying card he could play here? Flame Waker or Spell Slinger, I believe it's called. Both of those are not so swell. 1800. If we get to, I mean, I highly doubt we'll get to sub 1000 with my critical thinking skills at the moment. Cold Sorcerer, that's pretty good. Not too annoying though. It depends. Coining into what? Another creature? Interesting. You're playing pretty hard into a consecration. It's kind of strange how you know I don't have it. But yeah, it's very, very not so good right now. We're actually going to, well, he plays another spell. So it's either kill the Sorcerer's Apprentice or kill the Mana Worm. I'm going to kill the Sorcerer's Apprentice. Not having a consecration here kind of sucks. Not even a Wild Pyromancer, which we haven't drawn at all, by the way, in any of the 3 games we've played. We also haven't drawn Tyrion. Man, this guy, this is an extreme tempo mage deck right now. We're getting hammered. We're at 10 HP and it's turn fucking 4. Turn 5. This is how you say a man not going so good. So we're at 9 HP. He has a 7 damage out. This is rough. Consecration would have made a world of difference, but I mean, we can still, you know, make maybe a comeback, but it'll be rough. Just because we know he has burst. This is how I expected the rogue game to go, not necessarily the tempo Cthulhu. Not at all, but our hand was pretty bad. I guess keeping the Alkalite of Pain was bad. We'll probably change the Alkalite of Pain later on. There's the consecration. A little too late, but we'll use it anyway. We don't really have an option here. We cannot afford to take any more damage. Like, even this, I wouldn't be surprised to be like Frostbolts, Fireballs, and then the following turn like Frostbolts. So it looks like our turn 6 is Karen. Or maybe if we draw a decent 4-drop, we go Alkalite of Pain. Alright, so face for 2 more. You know you're serious business when you use Disciple of Cthulhu to go face. That's funny. Alright, so we can either play Karen or we could go Alkalite of Pain, Harvest Golem. I almost like Alkalite of Pain and Harvest Golem, because next turn we'll lay on hands, and these, well, the Bloodhoof can kill that. But this is like immediate value. But we know we're using this next turn. We're staring down at least 6 damage. If he plays anything worth bit, we'll just go Karen. So Fireball he wins, Frostbolt is 4, and that would be 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah. So Frostbolt and or Fireball he wins. Roaring Torch is a win too. Azure Drake into the top deck of the Fireball, nah. Arcane Blast for 6, okay. We go for the value trades. No, just go face, fam. KK. Well, we don't have a choice. Actually, we could Tyrion here. So, lay on hands puts us at 13. We know we're making this trade. So now, do we Tyrion? And, well, let's say he fireballs for 7. And he has... It's Tyrion or heal? This is getting pinged off, so we gotta go for Tyrion. He actually could just... Nah, he would have hexed if he had it, so... I think this is the better play in the situation we're in. I mean, we can't really play too defensive. I mean, we already used the healing card and didn't do anything else. So either Tyrion sticks, he trades creatures into it, it lives, we lay on hands the following turn, we make a slow comeback into it, or he just kills Tyrion and he wins now, or he can just go face. So it's basically one of those plays where it's, you play... Like, we played not to not lose, but we played to... We took the chance that if we made this play and it worked out, we would have a greater possibility of winning, which it looks like this was the right play to make. So we're going to make this guy attack 1. Now we can't lay on hands. I'm retarded. I am actually not the smartest. I am horrible at this game. I am quite bad. I have set myself up. Now, if he draws any sort of damage, we lose. I deserve that. I'm going to blame it on this. For some reason, I thought we had 11 mana. You know, casual things. Just deal 4 damage to me, please. Top deck the Fireball. Beckoner of Evil, ping. Okay. Oh, that's Cthulhu. That's what's going on here. Hew, 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 hew. Give me a 2-drop that I can play. Alright, not so much.
Time for a lesson.
I know that's Cthulhu. You just need to chill out.
Alright,
calm down. We're gonna try to win this. Chill out. We can't afford to take face damage. But if we take this damage, it's gonna go face anyway, right? So, in order to mitigate damage, we know next turn we're gonna equal... Well, we can actually make this a 1-drop. So, if we do this, we actually save more damage. So that's the way where we save the most damage. And his Cthulhu, I believe, was 16. So we will live if he Cthulhu's. Because we have essentially... Well, we don't live. But if he kills... If he hits the creatures... Oh, he yogs. Oh, boy. Alright, silence. So are you going to silence? Okay. Okay. I draw a card. Okay. This is interesting. That's all the spells he played? Interesting. We should probably attack first. But if it's... Well, this can kill this no matter what. What if it's a misdirection? Then we should make this attack first. But we know that's going to die anyway. We're going to play around misdirection. Alright, we played around misdirection. Do we Nazoth here, or do we just Sylvanas? Okay. I wonder what that last one is. So how much damage do we have here? 5, 11... That's like 13. We got like 17, 18, 19. We have lethal. As long as that... It could be a frozen trap. Interesting. We'll see what happens. If this mage has just lost this game, that's incredible. That is incredible. I don't know how we did it, folks. We even forgot that Lay on Hands cost 8 mana. I swear he would have had Yogg, though. I mean, Cthulhu. Oh, he does have Cthulhu. Oh, wow, that's a big Cthulhu. Alright, just hit all my creatures. There we go. Good job. Okay. Alright, so we're going to make the assumption that this is an explosive trap. So, we make this... Well, no, we'd swing with this weapon first. Because this dies and then we lose a weapon charge. But what if it's a bear trap? So let's do this. Okay? Bear trap. Okay. So that sits here. This goes here. That goes there. This goes there. And this goes space. Cool beans. Pyroblast. Tome into Frostbolt, Ice Lance. Let's hit that RNG. Ice Block. You got something. RNG is not this guy to me.
Time for a well done.
Or not.
You win.
We're doing well. We haven't actually lost a single game with this deck. Super sick. So we'll play one more match. And then we'll call it there. And then we'll talk about the deck. Looks like this rendition's doing pretty well. Nice, nice, nice. I really don't want to go back to studying, guys. Oh! Also, we've got, I'll talk about that tomorrow in our video. We don't need to talk about that today. Oh boy. Top 1K legend. Hopefully he's playing Zoo. Equality, Consecration. Hey, Lamau. I think we get rid of Equality, right? Or do we keep Equality? Let's get rid of Equality. Consecration should be enough. Did I get rid? Oh, there's Wild Pyromancer. Okay, I was about to say, if we didn't draw a Wild Pyromancer this game, or at least one of them, I would have actually thought I didn't, or would have thought I didn't put them in the deck. We actually even haven't played Rag yet, but the Rag the Light Lord, that is. Alright, so comments in the chat, boys. Lots of questions regarding Jeff. Okay, so, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Jeff is no longer a part of the Inn. I know, it's very shocking. Jeff didn't want to be a part of the Inn. He moved on to better and greater things. So, that is where Jeff is doing. But Jeff did contribute while he was at the Inn a lot. Jeff made, or didn't make, but he drew our intro. All the little characters and the Inn itself was drawn by Jeff. And then Tony animated it with the help of my creational mind. So we needed all three of us to make the framework work. And right now we're missing an artist, which is horrible, because we have my brain, which can come up with just about anything. You give me a pencil, I have no fucking idea where I'm going. But you give me a little strand, I'll turn it into a yard. No problem. What the hell do we do in this situation? But yeah, we're missing our 3 trio. Makes me sad. Alright, we turn the Voidwalker's health to 1, it does nothing. We turn the Direwolf's health to 1. I suppose. There's not really a better play on the board. But yeah, so Jeff, he chose not to be a part of the Inn anymore. No hard feelings. He's just doing other things right now. He has school to focus on. He has work to focus on, and just spending a lot of time on a channel that doesn't actually make any money for how much time we put into it wasn't like what he wanted to be doing, which is reasonable. I mean, people just don't spend large quantities of their day every single day for something that gives them essentially no benefit to their life whatsoever. Some people call that insane. I call it hobby or personal choice, but either way, yeah. So we consecrate. This doesn't die. Bad things happen. This does this. This swings into there. That doesn't feel good. How much damage are we taking? Let's calculate. That definitely is going to go there, and that's going to go there, because we're going to consecrate next turn. Because he's probably going to swing his Possessed Villager into the Peacekeeper. Because he's a silly, silly goose. And he's going to get that Death Rattle down. They all have 1 HP, so it's like 8 Lamau. Okay. Comments in the chat, boys. And by chat, I'm actually meaning YouTube comments, not Twitch. It's called Frost Mage, not Freeze Mage. I'm not even going to respond to that. I'm 100% sure it's Freeze Mage. 100%. Like 100.00 forever. You can call it Frost Mage if you'd like, but you're wrong. I'm absolutely loving this series. Keep it coming. And you're talking about Tony's trial. Thanks, Chance. Glad you're enjoying it, man. And also your picture of Gengar is quite sweet. Always loved me some Gengar when I used to play the Pokemon. And I know it's actually called Pokemon, not Pokemon. And then he made the trade with the Possessed Villager, which is what we essentially wanted him to do. So when we consecrate, it actually does a much better job at clearing the board. And the option right now is whether we would like to, and if we want to essentially swing our 4/1 weapon into his 1/1 Voidwalker. And as tempting as killing a 1/1 may seem, I really, really strongly don't like that play. So we're just going to hang tight. Robert, is Maxina any good? No, She's bad. DE her. You're talking about the spider lady from Naxxramas. Dark Peddler, controller. Alright, Bad Karma with a C. Ooh, hipster. When Rob can tell the future, things go wrong anyway. I know, right? Like, we call quite a few plays, and we can foresee it happening, but we just cannot stop it from happening. It's like in that Alice movie. You cannot stop the past from happening, but you can learn from it. Very wise words right there. Social Outcast. Love the videos, man. Keep it up. Thanks. Really appreciate that. Talking about Tony's Trials. From all the comments I'm going to be spiking up now are all going to be from Tony's Trials. What do we play? So essentially, we play Wild Pyromancer and heal ourselves for 4. We can kill this. This makes a new guy. This swings into there. Or we play Sylvanas and we kind of ignore what he's got going on here, which I think is a little bit better in the long run, because Sylvanas is pretty annoying in my opinion for most people to deal with. And he also only has 4 damage on the board. Not really scared of that, unless he like Leroy innervates into double power overwhelming into like coining in another one, because you know warlocks have innervates. Comments from Blue just says League of Legends. Don't know what that means, but thanks for watching. Garrett, I'm playing some Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate as I listen to this. Nice. I've never played a Monster Hunter myself, but the game does seem fun. I've seen people, how you say it, play it, and the reviews for it, and some gameplay look cool. Just a poll. Tony, what class do you play most in Hearthstone? I'm not Tony, but I can tell you he loves to play Rogue. And he loves to play Rogue. Yeah, I'd have to say Rogue is probably his most played and most popular class. Alright, so we've got Doomsayer, Forbidden Healing. Interesting. Well,
Burn.
yes.
Burn.
So this is going to go here. This is going to go there. This is going to heal us. It's going to kill off that. And then it's going to go there. Cool beans. So now we can actually clear the board and Sylvanas doesn't take an effect, but it deals with this board semi and we were able to heal ourselves up, and then we have Rag the Light Lord the following turn. So as silly as that looked, and you know, we didn't get the equality into the Wild Pyromancer clear, it puts us in a situation where if he does play anything, we can just Rag, or if not, we can Doomsayer or Harvest Golem passive. So we're also reading comments, we're not really paying attention in this game. Oh no, Sylvanas doesn't get value. What will we do? As long as we can normally make it to the late game, we aight. Because we've got value cards like Rag and Tyrion and Karen and Justicar. We did use one Forbidden Healing, but we're still at, you know, decent amount of health. We actually could just, depending on what he plays here, we could actually just Doomsayer and do nothing. But pulling out the Light Lord seems pretty good. Alright. So Googly Eyed Octopops. Reasonable. Alright, so we could actually double Harvest Golem Doomsayer here, but I like, oh, Rag, and then he Power Overwhelmings. This is a rough turn. I personally like the Doomsayer double Harvest Golem. This series is awesome. Keep it up. Thank you, Pavel. Nicholas, like Tony, the same as Rob, to be honest. I don't see a reason for complaints. Yeah, we received a couple complaints because I wasn't able to be in Tony's last Tony's Trials video due to the fact that, as like I mentioned, lots of schoolwork to do. Didn't really have time. But yeah, glad you guys are liking Tony's video even without me. I won't always... they're called Tony's Trials, not Tony and Rob's Trials, not Rob and Tony's Trials, not Tony's Trials / feature Rob. You know what I'm saying? So give Tony a break. He does his best, and he's been doing this a very short amount of time in comparison to me. I've been working on this channel, as you guys know, for those of you who have been inmates quite a while. We've been... oh my gosh. How you say him, man? He must have a Power Overwhelming in hand for him to make such plays as this. Well, he has to. There's no way. Ah, the Alchemist. How could we have been so rude? Oh no. We're losing guys left and right here. Okay, so, wow, this is bad. I'll get back to what I was saying in a second, but we need to kill Knife Juggler, right? So when we kill Knife Juggler and we play Rag, Rag could actually heal up our Harvest Golem. So hopefully Rag heals face. Rag, do the right thing. Heal our hero. Rip in the fucking chat, boys.
Well played.
I think we lose. I think we're gonna get bamboozled by the Leroy Jenkins power overwhelming shenanigans, and that's why people are playing Crazed Alchemist. By the way, is the swap on the Doomsayer. So last turn, the right move was to play Rag. So maybe he doesn't have it. He tapped.
Put this apple on your head.
Looks like he doesn't have it. He has to have, so he has a power overwhelming onto a 1/1 and smacking the 2/2 into the Rag as well. Clears Rag. He
The light protects me.
Okay. We actually don't have any card draw in this deck. There's no Solemn Vigils, so we still have Enter the Coliseum though. So there's a power overwhelming on that dude. Turns him into a 6/6. Swings both his 1/1s into it. And then swings his... He's going to go 8/8 face, right? There's no way you don't go 8/8 face. Yeah. That's too much damage. So Aldor the Peacekeeper is a pretty decent draw just to kind of mitigate some damage. That's probably one of the worst draws. We could actually attack into this and hopefully it pings the Alkalite. But that's a pretty risky play. But if we kill this, he has what? Still has lethal no matter what. Am I right? Because this would be 8. So if we kill this, this is 10, 13 damage exactly if we kill the Knife Juggler. And that's all we could do. So essentially we went to attack this and hopefully Knife Juggler hits the Alkalite of Pain. It doesn't. So there's no... there was no way of stopping lethal there. I mean, I guess we could have swung Harvest Golem into the flame. But then, you know, he would just play creatures and kind of combat it that way. It sucks that we lost to Zoo, though. Maybe we used Consecration too early, but either way, I think we played fine over the course of the last couple games. Not a deck I play a ton of, but definitely a decent deck at that. Maybe it could, you know, use a couple more pieces of card draw, but I think we played it fine. We didn't draw into any of our Kodos. We didn't draw into any qualities. Doomsayers were a bit late. I mean... There's a couple things that could have gone wrong. Maybe the Sylvanas play was really bad. Maybe there was something better there that I didn't see. But I was talking about comments at the time. Didn't really focus on the game, which might have been bad because this is a deck guide. But either way, we're going to talk about the deck. So when I say a card is a staple, that means it cannot be replaced if you do not have it. And there's like, you know, more than 3 staple cards I mentioned that you don't have. Maybe this isn't the right deck for you. These decks are built the way they are. So if you would like to, oh, Rob, how would this deck perform? And you like take out a third of the deck, you know, it's probably not going to perform that well. I've had a couple people comment, be like, Rob, your deck, you know, it doesn't work. It loses all the time. And then I'm like, okay, well, do you have the whole deck? And they're just like, no. And I'm like, well, you know, there's maybe a problem. You're missing a third of the deck. I've had a guy, he's like, oh, I was trying to play Control Warrior. Your deck list sucks. And I'm like, well, what cards don't you have? And he's like, well, I don't have Hellscream. I don't have Elise. I don't have, you know, Harrison. I don't have... And I was just like, well, of course it doesn't work. You're missing core competencies. It's like starting a business and not having any, like, well, where's your business located? Oh, we don't really have a location. It's kind of just there. It's like, oh, so you're online? No, but just, you know, it's not there. It's just like, what? What are you talking about? Anyway, Forbidden Healing. This is a staple in the deck. Run 2 of these. I know it's an epic. I know it costs a lot. This deck is not cheap by any means necessary, but if you're looking for cheaper decks, we have a top 5 beginner decks. And we also have a budget deck section. It hasn't been updated, but still follow the same like kind of format and foundation. And you can build yourself a decent deck. Also, our free-to-play account only plays cheap decks, and they work pretty well. So if you're looking for extremely cheap decks, go that route. If you're looking for decks that actually perform well on ladder, deck guides and deck testings are the way to go. So 2 Forbidden Healing, staple, as we've seen, it can heal up to 20 HP. So if you're at 10 mana, it heals for 20. If you're at 10... 10 mana heals for 20, 5 heals for 10, and so on. It can be used on creatures, and it also is so flexible because it's at 0 mana cost. So you're not, you know, set in like Lay on Hands, have to have 8 mana, always heals for 8, draws you 3 cards. Forbidden Healing, flexible. You want to spend 6, you want to spend 2, you want to spend 5, it's up to you. Deal or no deal. Humility, we've seen why this is good, whether you're comboing it with the Stampeding Kodo or the Wild Pyromancer. We actually didn't get to see any Wild Pyromancer, Alkali Pain, Humility combo going on, but it's a decent combo, and it definitely helps you accelerate your card draw along with dealing with your opponent's field fairly well. One Humility, it's not a staple by any means. You can replace it. Aldor the Peacekeeper essentially does the same thing as Humility. Humility is just a spell, and it's a 1-drop spell, which combos with Wild Pyromancer, which can help you clear the board, depending on, what type of deck your opponent's running. Equality is a staple, as it is combo with Equality Wild Pyromancer and or Equality Consecrate, which essentially saved us in that mage game, not that mage game, but that rogue game. Doomsayers, this is, I don't want to say it's a staple due to the fact that some players are getting around playing it because of how many people are playing Crazed Alchemist now. As we saw in the last game, the guy Crazed Alchemist or Doomsayer and literally just made it useless. He just killed itself. So it's kind of a rough card to play right now due to the fact that everybody's playing it. Also, everybody's running Stampeding Kodo. So you play Doomsayer, you get Stampeding Kodo, it feels bad, man. Wild Pyromancer staple. 2 Alkali Pains is probably maybe a little bit better than, like, take out the Doomsayers, add another Humility, add another Alkali Pain, add in the Wild Pyromancer Humility combo a little bit more, and get a little bit more card draw with the Alkali Pain. The problem is, though, in the control matchups, not that we went in against any control decks because everybody's going aggro because it's the last day of the season. I found that if you run Solemn Vigil and Alkali Pains, you end up drawing so many cards, and you fatigue extremely quickly, which means your opponent, if he's a warrior, is going to win. And I found that, good 25-30% of ladder, depending on when you play, could be filled with Tempo Warrior, Control Warrior, Cthulhu Warrior, or some form of warrior. So didn't want to draw too much with this deck. Normally we're able to get by just fine in the early game against mid-range or aggro with this particular setup. But as the meta shifts, decks change, what you're playing against goes against, and of course your rank determines the players at which you're going against, and the players within each set of ranks is going to be different. So obviously decks in Legend rank, in like ranks 1 through 5, and 5 through 10, and 10 through 15 are going to be different. Allure the Peacekeeper, staple, card's amazing, Humility inside of a 3/3 body. Harvest Golem, this is my form. Some people play the Infested Tauren because he's a taunt and he can, bring out the extra 2/2. I like Harvest Golem because he doesn't cost 4 mana. This deck already has a decent amount of 4 mana slots, as the True Silver Champion, the Consecration, the Keeper of Uldaman are pretty powerful, and I would rather play a True Silver Champion and deal with a threat than play a 2/3 body that's just going to get steamrolled. True Silver Champion, staple. Consecration Staper, Keeper of Uldaman. Oh my god, Rob, why are you only running 1? The reason is that our job in this deck is not to, make creatures on our side of the field more valuable. As good as that sounds, it's not the point of the deck. The point of the deck is to withstand the early game, make it to the late game. You've got plenty of control, whether it be the Keeper of Uldaman to reduce a card or to buff up one of your cards, but you have Aldor the Peacekeeper, Humilities, Doomsayers, and Equalities to deal with decent cards. You don't need a Keeper of Uldaman all the time. Even though it's a really good card, you can play 2 of them. Probably won't do you wrong, but I found just right now it does well. Harrison Jones, this is because of the amount of rogues, warriors, paladins, and shamans on the ladder at the moment. Harrison came in clutch against that rogue. We were able to draw 2 cards, one of which was an Equality, so we were able to combat his 10/10 Van Cleef. Without that, we would have lost. Stampeding Kodo, didn't see the true value of this guy, considering... Actually, we did. We Allure the Peacekeeper, a Cthulhu, and we killed it with the Kodo, so... Kudos to you. Enter the Colosseum. We didn't get the true power of the Colosseum, but when that time comes, the Colosseum will come, the Colosseum will have that battle, and that battle will result in you clearing your opponent's field and them only having 1 card left. So essentially, you enter the Colosseum. Let's say they have we're playing against a zoo, right? The last zoo game, we were able to have 9 mana. Or 7 mana if we can have Humility in our hand. He plays Sea Giant, the rest of his cards are 2 attack, right? So we Humility the Sea Giant, we enter the Colosseum, it clears 6 of his cards, one of which is that 1/8 Sea Giant, and then his Dark Peddler lives. It's amazing. It's so much value. Bloodhoof, this is just N'Zoth synergy. Trueheart, this is your control matchup winner due to the fact that summoning 2/1/1s, even though we're not running the Quartermaster, dealing with 2/1/1s every single turn is annoying to any class. It is almost impossible if you can get Trueheart against a control matchup on turn 6, let's say a control warrior, and then every turn you're spamming your passive, and it becomes They use their brawls on, field full of 1/1s that you generated for 1 mana each because you're summoning 2. It's just crazy. Sylvanas, again, staple. Lay on Hands, staple. I'm not really going to explain why Sylvanas is good, and I'm not going to explain why Lay on Hands is good. It's kind of self-explanatory. Not too many combos in there. Rag, staple. We've seen this card played a ton, and unfortunately in the last game it didn't really get its it didn't do me right due to the fact it healed our Harvest Golem up instead of healing our face, which would have supplied us with another turn, which essentially could have allowed us to draw a card to deal with his field effectively. But it's fine. Rag has its ups and downs. Tyrion is a staple in N'Zoth. I don't know if you know this or not, but this is N'Zoth Paladin, and it requires N'Zoth. Golden N'Zoth, though, performs a little bit better than non-Golden N'Zoth. But for those of you who, of course, Golden N'Zoth is very expensive, and not everybody has all the money in the world to spend on this, nor do I, but I spend way too much anyway because it's the only game I essentially play. And that's a whole nother story anyway in itself. But either way, N'Zoth, core of the deck. This is your late game winning condition. Unfortunately, if you're playing, let's say against a warrior, try to bait out those brawls early on. So if you get the Justicar out, just keep filling your board with those 1/1s until he wastes his 2 brawls, depending on what kind of warrior deck you're playing, and then go ahead and play N'Zoth. Keep in mind though, if you're playing against a tempo warrior, he does not run brawls. So you'll be playing around a card that he doesn't have in his deck. So just be sure to know the matchup, know what decks you're playing against, and to play against them effectively. And that comes with more than just watching one deck guide, is to know what the meta is. And that comes with just playing the game, researching, figuring out different deck archetypes, and then kind of knowing when your opponent plays particular cards, what decks those fit into. And I try to go over that as much as possible. So, as always, guys, I've given you my rundown of this deck. Hopefully you've enjoyed and learned a lot. I always look forward to hearing your comments in the section below. It's one of my favorite parts, is hearing feedback from you guys on either how to become a better YouTuber for you guys, just comments in general, or if you're just here to support the channel and just want to say good job. I'm all ears to you guys, as this channel is based around you, not so much around me as the channel. It's not rich and famous yet, but hopefully one day we'll be rich and famous, and then I'll be able to do giveaways and do all that cool stuff that big channels do or don't do, depending on how much they love their subscribers. But I love you guys. All you inmates are awesome. So as always, I'm Warshack, and happy whatever the hell day it is.